Hello, 207. Today we're going to read chapter 2 of Littles. In our first video, we read chapter 1. We talked a little bit about the title. We talked a little bit about the front cover and what we noticed. And we learned a little bit more about our main characters, the Littles. A few things we learned was that the Littles live in the walls of other people's houses. We also learned that they are very small. They're only about 6 inches tall. And they have those tails. In chapter 2, we'll learn a little bit more about our main characters. Let's get started. Alrighty. Chapter 2. One day in May, the Littles were together in the living room. The two children, Tom, 10 years old, and Lucy, 8, were on the sofa next to their mother. So we got our two characters here. We have Tom, who's 10, and Lucy, who's 8, and their brother and sister. Granny Little sat on her rocking chair knitting a red sweater for Tom. "Don't know why Henry Big made such a fuss when we took his old red socks," she said. "One of them had a real bad hole in the toe." Uncle Pete, holding the cane, leaned against the fireplace. "You have enough red yarn there, Granny," he said, "to start a knitting factory." Mr. Little was walking back and forth. "Please sit down, Will," said Mrs. Little. "You're making me nervous." "Now there's no reason for us to be worried," said Mr. Little. "The Biggs have gone on vacation before." "But never for 3 months," said Mrs. Little. "And what about this new family?" said Uncle Pete. "The Newcomes." He shook his cane in the air. "We don't even know them." "We don't have to, Uncle Pete. I keep telling you," said Mr. Little. "If they're good enough for the Biggs, they're good enough for the Littles. Besides, they'll only be here for 3 months. We can stand anything for 3 months." "Why do they want to rent the house for only 3 months?" said Tom. "Isn't that kind of silly?" "The Newcomes are from the city," said Mr. Little. "Sometimes city people rent houses in the country while the owners are away on vacation." "It's like a vacation for city people to live in the country for a while," said Mrs. Little. "I don't like that," said Uncle Pete. "Suppose they bring a cat with them." Why do you think it might be bad for them to bring a cat?" Lucy Little moved closer to her mother. "Oh, Mother, suppose they bring a cat with them." Mrs. Little put her arm around her daughter. Granny Little stopped rocking. "Did he say they have a cat?" She nodded toward Uncle Pete. No, said Mr. Little. "He supposed they had a cat." "Oh," said Granny Little. She started rocking again. "I hope they don't bring a cat." Who's afraid of old cats?" said Tom. "I wish everybody would stop talking about cats," said Lucy. "I'm afraid of cats." She looked from person to person. "Please, let's stop talking about cats." That's the end of chapter 2. So in chapter 2, we learned a little bit more about our main characters. So we learned about Tom, who's the boy, Lucy, who's the girl, their parents, and then they all also live with their grandmother and their uncle, and I believe their grandfather. And so where we're starting off in our story is all the Littles are talking about the fact that the Biggs, which is the house they live in, they're on vacation, so a new family is coming in. And they kept talking about something that they're scared of. What did they say they were scared of?